Good afternoon. This is Angie.
And that's Sallie.
And this is Jack. And we are the August 1823 Stitchers. We're filming today on Halloween, October 31st, and this is episode number 6. If you're a returning viewer, we thank you for coming back, and we thank you for subscribing, liking, and commenting. And if you're a new viewer, we hope you like what you see. The first thing we're going to go over are previous finishes. I have a few. It is Halloween, so I have a Halloween bracelet because I do a little bit of beading. This was a petite project for the Embroiderers Guild, from the Embroiderers Guild of America, and it's done in square stitch, which is an interesting stitch because you can take any cross stitch pattern and make a bracelet out of it. This is another EGA Petite Project, and this is a peyote stitch bracelet. And then I had a freebie online, and I made a beaded toggle to go with this one. Angie, do you have any previous finishes?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Do you have any FFOs?
No, ma'am.
I don't have any either. Do you have any finished objects?
No, ma'am.
I do have a few finished objects. Last time we filmed, I was very close to finishing Decaf Y. This is stitched on a 20 count Ada, hand dyed, and using the called for DMCs, and it's a pattern from Aury TM.
Do you know how you're going to fully finish it?
I am probably going to make it either into an ornament or a flat fold. Or I could put it in a small frame. I haven't decided yet. We'll figure out that when it hits me. My next, let me show you the pattern first. These are the So Jolly ornaments from Erica Arndt. And I have done number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. These are all done on 14 count Ada, called for color, which is Aqua by Zweigart, using DMC floss. And I'm going to finish them into the ornaments on the back because I already have those supplies. Okay, and then my favorite finish, and no, I did not iron it. I was going to, but I never made it to the iron, is Sallie Spencer. I think I'm gonna put it on a board. Give me just a minute here. Okay. Alrighty. Go up. This is done on 36 count vintage country mocha linen, 1 thread over 2 threads, using the DMC conversion. And what's interesting is I didn't change any of the letters, any of the spellings, but there's a TF on here, and my brother's initials are TF, and then there's a RW, and that's the first initial and middle initial for my younger brother. All right, and those are all of my finishes. Okay, all right, so the next category, next thing we're going to do are whips, works in progress. Angie, do you have some works in progress?
Yes, I do. 2 of them are new starts that qualify as a whip now that I've got 200 stitches in them. In August, I did the 6 for 60 starts, with 6 new starts for my 60th birthday. And one of the 6 that I chose was Yasmine Made with Love, the Uniqueness of Others. I just call it the peacock design. And I'm using the called for DMC, but I changed the cloth to a mustard with Cosmo because I wanted the peacock to pop more, so I used the exact opposite of the main blue. And so I'm almost finished with one of the 4 pages. on this project. Just have a few little pieces to do in there. And I'll be 1/4 of the way through. And the grime guard is actually a steering wheel cover from Walmart.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Or is it Dollar Tree?
No, I got this
That
from
one
Walmart.
from Walmart?
Yep.
I didn't know they had them at Walmart.
Got it like 6 years ago, and I've used it forever. Whenever I have an 8x11 Q-snap that uses blues, I put this one on.
So match your grime guard to you.
The needle minder is from Gina's Unique Boutique. You're next.
Okay, well, I've been, after I, oh, you know what? I have one more finish.
Oops.
But, oh yes, I did bring it. I mean, I thought I packed it up. I'm sorry. So, I did finish the August Stitchy house. This is, again, is a pattern from Erica Arndt, the lady that did the So Jolly ornaments. And when I was stitching it yesterday, I was debating whether to put the strawberries at the top, but there was a blank spot. And actually, this is a work in progress because I have not put the back stitch in. The quilt has a little bit of back stitching in it. So it's a work in progress. There you go. I used the, well, this is a piece of beige 14 count Ada and the called for DMCs.
Okay, one of my new starts that I was scheduled to start September 25th, but my scroll rod needed a knob and a bolt before I could do it, and it took forever to get that done. So it's finally done, and I was able to start it October 25th, a month later to the day. This is the Autumn Bell Pull. I saw this morning on Annabella's that she has this pattern for sale. It spells the word autumn going down. It's 522 stitches long by 82 stitches wide. I've already purchased the bell pull, wooden bell pull top and bottom from PNBmakingmemories. It's perfect for this piece. Now, there are a lot of colors in this, and I wanted to show you my colors.
I like that purple.
A lot of colors, and they're very pretty, right?
Mm-hmm.
But all I've been able to use so far is 938, because I'm doing the A. And let me tell you, brown is boring for me, and I have had to struggle getting this started. But I'm almost done with the A. There it is. It's still got the needle with brown in it. The needle minder, our chapter made these as a fundraiser. And I love the yellow flower, and it kind of goes with the colors of fall, so I put this one down. The grime guard came from, oh dear, I wrote it down, hold on. Grime guard. They're called scroll rod guards from Maggie's Minders, and the pattern of fabric is called Forest Friends. It's got lots of woodland animals on it. Goes with my colors really well. And so there is my new start that has over 200 stitches, so it qualifies as a whip now. I hope to get the A and everything with it done so I can move on to the U, because I'm a month behind already.
Well, after I finished working on, after I finished the, well, sort of finished the August Stitchy house, I pulled back out Paisley Pumpkin. And this is a Rosewood Manor pattern. I'm using the called for DMCs and the called for Picture This Plus fabric. It is, well, I say the called for color, not the called for fabric, because she wanted linen. I'm using 32 count Lugana, and it is stitched on, where is it? Oh, it's at the top. Heritage by Picture This Plus. And I worked on some of the letters over here. I was working on it this morning, so And then I also filled in these little X's that are inside that border and then just stopped. And I got these flowers here and some of this gray done. And yeah, sorry about the threads, but you know, I just kind of let them hang. And I don't know where that blue thread came from.
My last whip was also a new start. It's Wilbur by Teresa Kogut. I did this on 14 count Picture This Plus Legacy. The needle minder is a South Carolina map from PNBmakingmemories. They can do every state map. And I've already ordered 3 states from them and given them as gifts to other people. And the grime guard is a pattern called Dogs, and it was by Stitch and Sisters Craft. Basically, all I've done on Wilbur is get the outside frame done, and this is his left ear right there. So I'm looking forward to getting that ear done this next time for Flosstube. And I love this cloth. This Picture This Plus Legacy is beautiful, and it's going to be perfect for Wilbur in the barn. So not much to see except more brown, a brown border, brown A. I've been in a brown mood.
Well,
so
you should got the border done.
Next time there'll be some pink.
And it matches.
Yes, and and more colors in the bell pull, so I'll be happier, I think. A lot of brown.
Okay. Well, the next part of our floss tube is our stash investment. I have a pretty large amount of stash investment, so Angie, I'll let you go first.
I keep my stash investment in my bag. I don't make a whole lot of money, so I don't spend a whole lot of money, but you couldn't prove that this year. I've spent a whole lot on stitching that maybe I shouldn't have, but this time the stash investment's not as much. I was in Grace Notes Fabric of the month, and I canceled it because I just couldn't afford it. But I got the last one today, or yesterday, in the mail, and it's called Mocha Blanc. Okay, now, to me this looks purple.
It looks pink to me.
Well, pink, yeah. Sunny mocha I've ever seen. But it's a pretty fabric.
It's got chocolate in it. That's where the mocha's coming from.
And so last month seltzer was purple, and this month mocha is pink. But the fabric is very soft, and the holes are very clear. And I would recommend Grace Notes Fabric of the month if you can afford it. So that's one of my hauls. Stitching by the Shore. Laura is getting ready to do Fish and Ships by Long Dog Sampler, and I want to do it because I love whales, first of all, and right there front and center, you know, you see a whale on the top left, actually not front and center. And it's a smaller one compared to some of them I've seen. I've never done a Long Dog Sampler, and I love a sissy stitching. And some of this has a sissy stitching in it, where you do the outline and it forms, you know, the shape inside. So I ordered this through Barefoot Needleworks because I just won a $10 gift certificate to Barefoot Needleworks on Stitching by the Shore, so I used that toward the purchase of this pattern, which came on very thin sheets of paper. I wasn't overly impressed, so I'm going to have to make, you know, Sallie made copies for me so that it'd be a little easier for me to see, and on stiffer paper, I believe. And while I was at Barefoot Needleworks, I needed more needles, so I ordered 24s and 26s because that's what you use when you do 14 and 16 count, and I do like peacemakers. So I ordered those from Barefoot as well, and that's my haul, y'all.
Well, I'm on the the Boardwalk series, well, each time one comes out, Barefoot Needleart charges me and sends it to me. And this one happens to be the souvenir shop. Now, I've got one done, and now I've got 4 more to do. I also get an email from Everything Cross Stitch, and their stitching box looked really interesting this month. And so I quickly hit the Buy Me button, and in it has a hoop prop. Let me show you, okay. Because you get a pattern with all the stuff to make it, and then a couple extra goodies.
Is it just for circle hoops, or can oval hoops and other hoops fit in it?
Whatever can fit in that hole.
Okay.
I haven't tried it yet, but I'm sure an oval will fit. It included a flexible thimble set, the Unstitcher by Lori Holt, PNBmakingmemories, the hoop to finish it, the threads, and they're nice, you know, autumnal colors, a piece of Ada, and I went ahead and zigzagged around it so I could start stitching on it, which I haven't started yet. And then the pattern is a turkey, and it says "Give Thanks," and it's from Cute Embroidery by Kate, and she's going to be hosting a free Christmas mug Sal starting tomorrow from her Facebook group. And then I kind of went on a PDF. Well, my friend Angie told me that Soda Stitch was having a sale on their gnomes, so I enjoyed stitching the August Peridot gem of the month gnome. So I got the August flower, and it's a cute little girl. She's adorable. And then I was watching Memphis Sarah. No, it wasn't Memphis Sarah. I was watching Stitching with My Littly, and she had talked about the Addams Family and Good Morning Maui. So I went on their website, and I got The Grinch. My favorite movie is The Princess Bride, so I had to get As You Wish. And, well, Princess Bride, but it has As You Wish. And if you know, you know, as they say. And then when I taught science, I always used Bill Nye videos. So Bill Nye the Science Guy. And I've actually met Bill Nye. He's autographed a book, but he's actually a geologist.
I'll never forget him on Dancing with the Stars.
I didn't realize he was on Dancing with the Stars. Yes. And then I was watching Writing with Scissors, Stitching with Jane and Julie. And Julie was showing the Halloween spool that she had done. So I went on, it's
Crafty Bluebonnet?
Yes, Crafty Bluebonnet. And I got the Snow Globe.
These are all spools?
Yes. The Nativity.
I love that one.
Spool. Oh, and I'm pretty sure I got the, well, thought I'd gotten, I must have left it at the house, but I'm thinking I got that, the monster one or the zombie one. And then, of course, Stitching with My Littly has shown several of the AZ Family Zoo patterns. So I got the Peace, Love, and Rescue. How do you manage to do that? He's off of his collar.
He pulled it off. Hey, Jack. Hey, buddy.
Okay, so we have a slight issue right now. I think you need to tighten his collar a little bit. Somehow Jack wiggled out of his collar.
And he can get between the struts of this patio. He can be gone before I know it.
Yeah, and we don't want that to happen.
Yeah, he's still really new here, so I don't want that to happen.
Well, I can't figure out. There we go. Aha. Ah, I tightened it up just a little bit. So, talk amongst yourselves. I don't think I tightened it up very much, so he's still got.
Do you have a stitching buddy? You might comment below if you have a stitching buddy. Although, when I get my stitching out, he wants me to be his buddy. I can't stitch and be his buddy at the same time because he crosses my whole lap. But I love him, and it's worth setting my stitching aside just to pet him.
I understand that. Well, continuing on, again, I like the Mary Square, or the Mary Sweet Squared, and the
Looks
Love.
like Jack.
It does look like Jack. And the Love to Stitch Squared, but I'm gonna change the colors.
That's actually Daisy, I believe, who passed away.
Oh, okay. And then I was Joyful Expressions. I know a lot of people have if you sign up for the newsletter, you get a free pattern that has all the names of Jesus in it. But I got the coffee one, and it says, Christ offers forgiveness for everyone, everywhere.
I have a towel that says that hanging on my oven door.
Oh. And then I was watching So Me Sarah, and she talked about Cosford and Rise, and I thought they were an English company, but they're actually based out in California. I got the itty bitty polka dot kitty sampler. Stacy, the 911 Stitcher, talked about a blessing sampler where you start it January 1st, you finish it in January, and it blesses all of your stitching so that you don't have any frogs during the year. And so I was thinking I could probably whip this out in January. And then the last thing I got was the Love to Stitch. It's a Biscore and a scissors fob, but I'm going to do the scissors fob first. So that's why it's showing up first.
You want to do that one?
So, Cosford and Rise.
Oh, it's also okay.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. Let me pull the page out. Yes, I used up a lot of ink this week. It's okay. There we go. Okay. And that's all my purchases. Okay. Yeah. So now we want to go down. We want to thank some people for shouting us out. You want to go with that one?
Yes. Stitching with My Literally watched this again and left comments and shouted us out. I really enjoy watching them, and it's just worthwhile of you to watch their Flosstube.
Yeah.
Stitching with My Littlie, Littlie.
Yes. They're from England. Somewhere in England.
That's what they call their children there, Littlie.
Oh. Yes, and her Littlie turned 14.
Yeah.
In October.
You want the next one?
Sure. At Running with Scissors, Stitching with Jane and Julie. And I didn't realize it until after I watched this video, a couple of their videos, that Julie had written the book, Take the Heart Out of Hardanger, or Hardanger. And I actually have that book, but I still struggle with Hardanger.
Another Flosstube shouted us out, Suzanne P. and Thomas. Thomas seemed to like my Super Mario, which I did not work on much this time because I didn't go to the doctor's office all much. But Suzanne P. stitches a lot of Stitching with the Housewives and Primrose Cottage, that kind of thing.
Someone's saying similar stuff that we do. And then our last one was Mrs. AZ Family Zoo. And since we're in America, of course, this is Z, not a Z.
And AZ means Arizona.
Ah.
That's right.
Okay. So our next section would be plans, what we're planning on working on for the next couple of weeks.
Do you want to start?
Sure. I'm going to hopefully finish up the last 6 of those ornaments because, well, I stitched 4 of them watching football. And I stitched those in hand because they're small and it's 14 count Aida and it's not difficult. I even worked on one at a church meeting and got it mostly done. I also want to pull out, I started Teresa Kogut's Peacemaker Angel last year, and I was dog sitting over Christmas and I really stitched on it, and yes, there's a thread. This is on 18 count Aida. Let me get the board and I've got almost a page done. She's coming along nicely, and with 18 count I still like to use 2 threads. So as you can see, I'm working up in the face, but that is a lot of confetti in that face, and I have a few empty spots in the wing, but that was a different color.
It's looking good.
Thank you.
One of my plans is to start working on the polar plunge. Sallie printed this out for me. I bought this a long time back and then realized I'd never asked anybody to print it for me. The 6th one in the polar plunge is called N is for Narwhal, and you have to buy it as a PDF directly on their site, and 100% of the proceeds go to support the Special Olympics group that her son is a part of. Kathy Haberman's son is a part of, and Mr. Haberman's, Mr. H.O.D. I have all the polar plunge fabric. I've got the blocks from Chantel 141. I don't have I need to get the rick rack or whatever that is supposed to go around them, and the backing supposed to scrapbook paper, which I'm sure I have scrapbook paper that's wintry. That will work. So I'm all set for a polar plunge.
Well, last year a friend of mine made me a stitching bag. 2 years ago, I found it on my porch, and she left me a nice little note. And in it, I have the white Primrose Cottage Stitches, White Christmas, and White Christmas 2022. There's the first one. There's the second one. I've stitched the Christmas tree in this one, and it's on a piece of gray Lugana. But there's the Christmas tree, and I just plan to add the others as I go. I'm into my Christmas stitching now. I know it's the end of October going in November, but I don't do a whole lot of fall stitching. And that's all I plan to do. Oh, well, I didn't bring it, but I also, on Sundays, I want to pick up In the Garden by Heartstrings Samplery. It's one of her Sunday hymns, or I have the book.
I have a sister who's really into Jewish, Messianic, Christian religion, where they celebrate, Shabbat on Fridays.
Yes.
And so when I saw this in the World of Cross Stitching magazine, this issue, I can't figure out what issue that is. I can't find where it says anywhere. But inside they had these Hanukkah cards that you can stitch. So I thought I'd do that as a gift for her for Christmas. I'm pretty much done with all my Christmas gifts that I have to make, except for this. So I got to get this started, because I've got to mail it to Oklahoma when I'm done. And then we talked about some things that we were going to make plans for together. Did you have other things to discuss before we talked about that?
Well, I have some things, but
okay, well, go ahead and cover.
Okay, so some things that, all right, so Angie sent me a text. She said, let's talk about some of this. So we try to participate in our state fair, and then the Carolina Regional Fair, Carolina Agricultural Fair. Which is in
4-H
Florence.
fair, basically.
Yeah. And it's going on right now in Florence.
My favorite one.
I planned, I want to pull out the Angel of Love, which was the lavender and lace pieces, blue, and then the whole bodice is beaded. And then Peacemaker Angel, because the Angel of Love is done on linen and the Peacemaker Angel is done on 18 count Aida, so they would be in 2 different categories. And then Angie and I are both going to be doing the fish and ships.
It's okay, Jack.
Angie, what color you're planning on doing?
I'm still waiting on, it's going to be a deep blue with black stitches.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
I'm waiting on a piece of blue from Bestitch Me that I've ordered a long time ago. But you know how it is. She's a busy lady making all those fabrics for all those retreats and everything else. And I got an email this morning or yesterday saying I should get it by mid-November.
Okay.
I think that's the one I'm going to use. It's called Ocean Blue. If it's anything like it looks like on the website, that's the one I'll use. If not, I may use that Stitch by Tatiana blue that I got. But either way, I'm doing black on deep blue, like ocean deep.
Right. I gotcha. I'm planning on doing it's kind of a blue-green color. I haven't picked my fabric out yet, though. I have a little bit of time. And then for a monthly marker as Alba Stitcher, Amanda at Alba Stitcher says, this year she was doing the Quakers, the monthly Quakers. I want to do the hands-on design year. I think I want to do year 2.
I don't know what those look like.
It's one a month. I mean, it's January through December, and then I'm gonna put a magnet on the back and switch them out.
Okay.
And then Angie also suggested an Advent stitch, and I've been wanting to make Christmas ornaments. I've had the pattern. My cousin used to cross stitch a lot, and so she always puts out her little tree with her little ornaments. Now I don't think I can find the little gold ornaments rings, but I'll figure out something. But I want to do that during Advent.
And my Advent is going to be, his name is Jesus from Joyful Blessings?
Joyful Offerings, isn't it?
Joyful Expressions.
Excuse me.
You can get this pattern free if you go to joyfulexpressions.us and sign up for the newsletter, which is free. And they have a lot of free patterns you can get. Some of them are like, they have people's names where the name is written all over the place, and it has words that relate to it. This one is all the names of Jesus. And I have not quite determined the fabric, but it'll be a light fabric that these 3 colors will pop on. So that's my plan for the Advent stitch.
And then for a Lenten stitch, if I'm not finished within the garden, I'll work on that one, but if I am, then I'll pick another one from that book.
And for my Lenten stitch, I have the one that's from the words of the Wondrous Cross. What is it called? When I Survey the Wondrous Cross, and which, is appropriate for Lent. So I'm going to do that one for my Lent stitch.
And as I mentioned earlier when I was showing my stash investment, I plan to do the Itty Bitty Polka Dot Kitty sampler as my blessing sampler.
And I will have a New Year, New Start. That's a humongous peacock from Laser Arts Designs. And I was laying out the fabric at the library one day to measure it and see, if it's going to fit. It was a humongous piece of fabric. And one lady came up and said, well, that's going to be gorgeous. When do you think you'll be done with it? I said, 8-10 years. She kind of raised her eyes like that and kind of backed away from me very slowly. But I was serious. That may be not quite enough time, because it was a humongous pattern. Biggest pattern I will ever have attempted in my life. Now, I have my planner for October. There's a lot of no's on there. I only stitched 16, I think it was 16 days. Life happened, and I got a few shocks, how life can be. And I spent some days just sitting there brooding, honestly, and watching Flosstube and not stitching. But I did get, quite a few days of stitching. And overall, I'm pretty pleased about what I was able to get done for what few days I stitched.
Well, since Angie's showing hers, I'm going to show mine. And yes, I have stickered it up, and I've stitched most days. There we go. Okay.
Well, our plan is to do a floss tube like maybe every 2 weeks or twice a month. But we won't do needles up every single time.
Correct.
We'll maybe do it the first floss tube of each month or something. Because there are just so many floss tubes out there, and honestly, we could give kudos to a lot of people.
Yes.
It's just amazing to me what all's out there. Whatever you're interested in cross stitch wise, and I end up watching things that I would never stitch in my life, like all those sampler thingies. I mean, I watch Brenda and the cereal starter, or Carol the salt box stitcher.
Yeah.
I watch them, but never in a million years would I do what they do. I don't do samplers. I don't do prim. I don't do salt box houses. At least not normally. So, but I still enjoy watching them, and I enjoy watching the fantastic stitching that's being done by them. I had a hard time this month, because there was a lot of Halloween. We wore our Halloween shirts today. I wore my Life is Scary Without Jesus. That's as close as I can come to Halloween.
I wore my Halloween pumpkin sweatshirt because when I taught, it was easy. We couldn't dress up for Halloween, but this would work.
And there was a lot of Halloween stuff, you know, and some of it was so cute. Today I saw Mischievous Stitches. She had done a frog with a witch's hat from Satsuma Street. It was adorable, but I would never stitch it. But I did appreciate it. So we encourage you to get out there and watch as many Flosstubes as you can. Try new people. You never know who you're going to find.
True.
There's a lot of new stitchers out there, and there's a lot of veterans out there. So whatever you do, make sure you enjoy stitching and enjoy watching. And I pray that you're enjoying your life.
Ditto.
So with that said, is there anything else we need to cover?
I think that's it.
Well, folk, that's all, folk.
Bye.